Hi, my name is Naomi. Ballet is my absolute favorite thing in the world, but a condition called obsessive-compulsive disorder put my dreams of dance on hold. My obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD, started when I was in junior high. I started to get totally stressed out by the order of things. I was fixated on making sure everything was put in the perfectly right place all the time. I felt that I had to do it, like I had no choice. I knew that what I was doing didn't make any sense and that I should just stop doing it, but whenever I tried to stop, something took over in my brain and I just had to keep going. But that wasn't all. I also had these very upsetting pictures in my mind, like dreams, but I was awake. They were images of terrible things happening as a result of a mistake I made. I saw my grandparents being murdered by an intruder who entered the house through a door I left unlocked. I became convinced that I was going to cause some life-ending event as a result of my carelessness. These thoughts and images were obsessions. People with OCD have all different types of obsessions. The important thing to know is that the obsessions are unwanted, intrusive, and repetitive thoughts or images, and that the person experiencing them knows they are unreasonable and excessive. Leaving my apartment for school in the morning was a nightmare. As soon as I closed the door, the images and thoughts started. What if I left my curling iron on? What if I didn't lock the door? Something terrible will happen. My family will be hurt. It will be my fault. I have to go back and check. It felt terrible, and I was almost always late for school.
Are you for real right now?
The obsessions created so much fear and anxiety for me that I had to do something to make myself feel better. I was afraid to tell my friend what was happening in my head. I didn't want her to think I was losing my mind. The obsessions kept building and building until I couldn't stand it anymore. I didn't know what to do, and to make it worse, compulsions began. A compulsion is something you do to reduce the stress caused by a feeling that things just aren't right. To get rid of that feeling, you need to do something, like touching, counting, or chanting. A compulsion makes you feel relief for a short time, but before you know it, the obsessions are creating anxiety again. That brings back the compulsions. It feels like it's never going to end. Just like with obsessions, people have all kinds of compulsions. Remember, a compulsion is what the person does to get relief from the anxiety the obsessions create. One of my compulsions was ordering. There was a time when I stopped going to school because I would spend 5 or 6 hours in my bathroom or kitchen making sure things were in their correct place. It's so hard to explain in words, but I felt like if I didn't arrange these things that something terrible would happen. As soon as I walked away, the overwhelming stress would drive me back to repeat the same thing again. It was maddening, but I couldn't stop. My life was going down the tubes.
Yeah, I have this attitude of keeping things which I consider important, even though they are no use of me. Even though they are no longer used, I keep things. So I always keep things. I thought it was, and sometimes I don't remember where I put my things, like that. But I don't know that this is a disorder. Until when the Pacific Empowerment Group came, they helped me to realize that it was a disorder. And I'm so thankful of this empowerment group for informing me that it is a disorder.
Look at her, she looks so good. She's so skinny. And I look so big. So hideous. I must weigh a ton on a scale. I can't go out looking like this. This is supposed to keep me healthy. But I might as well continue to starve myself.
Shown are few of the examples of personality disorder. Do you think you have one? If you can relate to either of these symptoms, please consult us, as we are here to help. Please call us for further information and join our free counseling services. Vinaka.
How the group will address awareness for OCD, hoarding, and body dysmorphic disorder. We're thinking of conducting a workshop, particularly in the rural areas, in very simple language. The three main language here in Fiji: English, the Takwe language, and Hindi language, and of course we will look at the different dialects throughout Fiji. This is just to give the the people a very brief understanding of these three disorders in their own dialect or in their own language. We also plan to do interactive games, and through these games, message or sharing of information will be made possible when people play these games. We also try to erase the Fijian mindset, where we tend to laugh at those people that have illness in their mental status, and of course we will involve government and NGOs for their aid and for their assistance. We are also planning to do social media assistance, um, particularly for online chats during Awareness Week, where a guest expert will be present to answer queries and questions for the public in relation to all these three disorders. For those that use Twitter and Instagram, they feel free to use hashtag OCD Week or hashtag BDD Week, just to pass on the awareness campaign to the general public as well. We are also thinking of changing your profile picture. For example, your Facebook profile picture holding our 2015 OCD Awareness Week sign, and for sure that will also help the public to be more aware of what we are trying to do here. We can also do things like send a letter to the local newspaper during the OCD Awareness Week, and of course email campaign, just like Facebook. When you add friends, here we try to email notes to the friends stating them the very importance of this disorder in Fiji. Other programs may include 1 million steps for OCD work, just like cancer, as well as volunteer programs, newsletter, and outreach programs to the rural areas, especially to the outer islands. And just for your information, the International OCD Week runs from October 13th to 19th every year, as well as this year will be the 22nd annual OCD conference in the USA. So please, if you have time, you can log on to the internet and try to get as much information as possible from these three disorder. Naka.
Hello, class. So the third and last method that our group decided was a fantastic and interactive way to create awareness, not just in the Pacific context, but also globally, would be to create an online quiz based on obsessive-compulsive disorder, body dysmorphic disorder, and excessive hoarding. But not just these mental disorders, and also many others that can be covered in these quizzes. Online quizzes are a growingly common form of self-analysis that people are conducting on a day-to-day basis, especially on websites like Facebook and other social networking websites. They're super simple to create with very easy tools that are provided. We can also share them on the student webmail for USB and such. It is an extremely interactive way to inform people about the symptoms that come with the disorders and the importance of taking these mental health seriously. A small example of the quiz is on the screen. We hope that you take the time to read it when you can. We will try and upload this on YouTube and share the link. We hope that you have enjoyed our presentation and it has made sense to you. Please do ask us questions once the movie is over. Thank you so much for watching.